Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, we're talking about how Michelin, the French tire company, created and started the Michelin star rating system that is often considered the Oscars of the restaurant industry. So if you know traveling to any of the most expensive or the most luxurious restaurants in the world, you probably would hear them say, hey, we're a 2-star Michelin restaurant, though we're a 3-star Michelin rated restaurant. And the interesting thing for me about this story is that this rating system was actually developed by a tire company, completely not having anything to do with the world of restaurants. So what can we learn from this is what I'll be sharing in this video. I'll also be sharing the story of how this actually started. So in 1900, the Michelin tire company was actually facing a problem, and the problem was that there were not enough cars on the roads to generate sufficient demand for their products. So a tire company, their whole business is based on people actually driving. But in 1900 in France and many places around the world, there were not a lot of cars on the road. So this prompted the founders of the company, Michelin, to come up with an innovative idea to solve this problem. And their solution to this problem was to create the Michelin Guide. And this guide was supposed to be a book that would provide drivers and motorists with useful information on where to eat, sleep, and refuel during their travels. And the idea was that Michelin wanted to encourage people to drive longer, And for them to drive longer, well, they had to tell them, was the point of this guide, was, hey, if you're driving 20 hours on the road, these are the best restaurants to visit, this is the best hotel to stay in. And basically they wanted this guide to help people to drive longer, but also to have a good experience while driving longer. And to make this guide more appealing, the company, they actually started to rate restaurant with stars. So 1 star signifies a good restaurant, 2 stars would mean it's an excellent restaurant, and then 3 stars would be an exceptional restaurant. And the idea was that in this guide that they would provide drivers who were driving and going across the country in France at the time, and then this obviously expanded across the world to North America, Africa, South America, and all over the world. The idea was that you'd be able to look at this star system and be able to say, depending on your financial resources, okay, I want to go for a 1-star restaurant, a 2-star restaurant, or a 3-star restaurant, depending on what kind of experience you wanted. And over time, this Michelin guide actually became synonymous with quality dining, and the Michelin star rating system became the gold standard of restaurant excellence. For me, this was just mind-blowing thinking about this story, because you have this company that had a big problem, which was they needed more people to be on the road so that they will need more tires for their vehicle, which is obviously the business of Michelin. Based on this problem, they were able to create a new solution and a new innovative offer on the market, or value in the market, that created a whole new market for them, but more importantly helped them grow their brand and made their brand associated with luxury, excellence, and all these positive things that a brand wants to be known for. So today the guide actually covers 37 countries across Europe, Asia, North America, and South America. And to get a Michelin star right now, the Michelin guide, there's a guide team that will select a number of restaurants in a specific location, and then it's typically inspected by an anonymous reviewer who then writes a report about their dining experience. And usually the restaurants are rated based on the quality of their food and product, on their cooking techniques, the personality of the chef, and the value for money and consistency between the inspectors' visits. So this is a whole new industry they created around rating restaurants, and of course this is something that everyone knows Michelin for. What are some of the lessons that we can learn from Michelin, how they turned a problem into not just a solution, but a big opportunity that they've leveraged to grow their brand and to grow their business? Well, the first thing is innovation is key here, because Michelin, when they faced a problem, instead of giving up, they came up with an innovative idea and an innovative solution to solve this problem. And not only solve this problem, it created a new market for their products. And that's very key. So when you're running a business, always be thinking of, when you have a problem in the business, instead of thinking only of, okay, how can I solve this problem in the short term? You you should also entertain the idea of how can I use this problem to create a new revenue stream. So here's an example for how to think about that. So say you had some sort of waste that you were consistently generating. Let's say, for example, you were creating clothing, and that's your business. And then every time you create clothes, there's always this scrap of clothes that you're not using anymore, and then you have this problem of having to dispose of that clothing. Well, an innovative idea or solution is to think, okay, can we recreate or create something new out of this scraps that we're not using, so that instead of us having to spend money to dispense of this scraps and this mess and this garbage, well, we can actually turn it into a product to actually sell and make money off of it. So that's one way of thinking innovatively about a problem that comes to mind. The second thing to learn from Michelin is be customer centric. Michelin created the guide to provide motorists with useful information, and they focus on providing value to their customers, and this customer-centric approach actually helped them to build a loyal following. So at this point, this is business 101. If you want to be successful in business, just add more value to your customers than what you're asking for them in payments, and that's really the key. So you have to be focused on delivering way more value to your customers, and regardless of whatever you're doing, and that is very, very crucial. Number 3 is consistency is essential. So the Michelin star rating system is based on street criteria, and this street criteria is very, very clear, and it's very, very consistent, so that whenever you're going into a one-star Michelin rated restaurant, you know exactly what to expect, how they were judged. If you're going to a 2-star or 3-star restaurant, you know exactly what to expect, because the team at Michelin are very, very consistent with their rating system, with the way they judge restaurants, and with the way they arrive at those ratings that they have, whether it's 1, 2, or 3-star ratings. So in your business, it's very crucial that you're very consistent in the type of experience that you're delivering to your client, because your customers can then come to expect this level of consistency, which means that repeat business becomes easy because they know exactly what to expect. So that's very crucial. The fourth thing is to build the brand. So Michelin's brand is synonymous with quality and excellence, and this has helped them to maintain their position as a leader in the tire industry for decades and decades now. So your brand is very, very important. Focus on your brand. Now, initially, when you start out your business, a brand is probably not something to focus on. You want to focus on, generating clients, generating revenue, and of course, more importantly, marketing, making sure people know about your product and your offer. But as you start to then, get some success in that area, then your next focus is we want to be known for something. We want to be known where if you say the name of your company, people think about something, certain things. It's evoked in their mind when they think about your company and your brand, and that's the whole point of branding. For example, if you think of Coca-Cola, if you think of Apple, if you think of Microsoft, I know these are big examples, but something comes to mind for you, and that is the power of a brand. So you need to be able to start thinking of investing in your brand, invest in the brand of your company, because that will pay dividends down the road. The fifth lesson is that take a long-term view. So Michelin's success did not come overnight. Even the success of this guy they created didn't come overnight. It took years and years before it spread across the world, and before it gained the foothold that we know about it today. So it took years. So it's very important that when you think about your business, number one, it's very important that you run a business that you feel like you can run for a while. That doesn't apply in every single case, but usually you want to make sure that you enjoy what your business does and the service it offers, because then you can see yourself doing it long term. And when you're running your business long term, then it allows you to take the long term view, where you're not doing things for the short term benefit, you're doing things for the long term benefit of your brand, of your company, of your clients, of you yourself. And those are some of the lessons that I've learned from Michelin's star rating system and how it translates to the world of restaurants, which was just crazy for me to think about. But I hope you've enjoyed this story. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If this is something that you enjoy, I'll be able to do more deep dive stories like this about business cases, and of course lessons that you can apply from these businesses into your own personal business journey as well. My name is David Owasi, and this is my channel, and I post a lot about everything from AI, marketing, LinkedIn lead generation, and everything in between to help you grow your business online and to make more money online. So if you like this content, then subscribe so you can see more of my content like this, and let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.